this Sunday morning. It's the final day of the Cape Town 7's. And, well, we've got someone down in Cape Town to talk to us today. Looking forward to hearing what his views are on both the ladies and the men's. And we should have a third guest joining us in the form of Rugger Bugger, Sean Nicholas, as well. If you are new to the channel, please do go down below and hit the subscribe button. But without further ado, let's cross down to Cape Town now. Bantry Bay, I believe, where Gavin Cohen is staying in one of his 5 or 6 holiday houses that he's got scattered around the peninsula. Gavin, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Brent. Yeah, it's not my house. I was invited, which is very nice of my mate. He's actually staying next door here. So, yeah, it's very nice, actually. Nice view. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And it's 9 o'clock now, so I'll be heading down to the stadium probably after the show, I'll be heading straight there, and I'll be in time to watch the first women's game at 9:50. I'm only about 2 or 3 k's away, so it's down the road.
Excellent. Well, I must admit, watching the waves break in the background, I'm pretty jealous about where you are today. So really hope you have a great time. I know you made a big effort to get down there, driving all the way down as well. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy the 7's. And I guess it's fair to say that it's best we talk to you in the morning while you're still understandable, because you're going to have a good time, no doubt.
Yeah, but you're welcome to cross to me later. I'm not going to get smashed, so I'll have a couple of beers. But if I do, it'll be much later tonight.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure you're going to have a great time. Welcome to the guys who are joining us in the live chat. There's a slight delay. They'll be coming on now. I have put links to the Good for the Game newsletter in both comment section, the live chat and below, and also the rugby forum thread, because we will have guys posting their bets throughout the day as well. Gavin, let's get started. I'd like to start on the ladies' game. I know this is an area where you put a bit of focus on and perhaps try to see if you can get a bit of an advantage over the bookmakers. And we'll start off with the first quarterfinal. It's France up against Russia. Now, France are minus 11.5. I know the conductor fancied the French, but I think you're leaning towards the Ruskies here.
Yeah, Brent, I think that from the conductor's point of view, I think it's completely I think he may just like 1 or 2 of those French women. I'm not sure how he likes any of them. They're all too butch and brute and big and whatever. But I know I called the Russians plus the other night against Fiji. In fact, I suggested I suggested they'd win the game comfortably, and they didn't. They haven't been as good as what I expected them to. So this should be quite a decent match. And I got to say, I'm very impressed. I'm getting a double-digit plus here. I did expect this to be more of a 2 or 3 point handicap. But you can scroll through all the women's 7's games, and you can see all sorts of funny stuff. Where teams winning by 21 game, and the next day losing by 10. It's not as consistent as men. It's very difficult for bookmakers to price up. And yeah, we got to find the value. I think the value lies with the Russians here. I'm on the plus, and I wouldn't be surprised if Russia actually wins this game as well.
Right, so Russia on the top for Oracle Rugby. Australia up against, is it Fiji in the next game? My writing is so bad here, I can't read it. I think it is Fiji, minus 12.5, Australia.
Yeah. So for me, I'm on the Australians here. I think the Fijians are. I think this handicap is based on the fact that they won that game against Russia, and they won it quite comfortably in the end. They were plus 6, and I think they won by about 12 or 14 points. I don't know if you can see on the screen. It's actually starting to rain. Very interesting. It was clear sky a few minutes ago, and the drizzle's starting to come down. So. So it's going to be a bit wet there, I would imagine, for the next couple of hours. I'm looking towards the stadium. There's a bit of blue sky over there, but it's certainly drizzling and spitting at the moment. I think Australia will smash this Fijian team. I think this is an interesting handicap, and they could well win by between 20 and 30 points. So I'm on the minus here.
So let me just stop you at this point, Gavin. Who do you fancy outright to win the tournament? Because I quite like a bit of Australia. They're 7-2. New Zealand are 9-10. And to me, New Zealand haven't really impressed yet. I like you. I like the Aussies. I like the Aussies as well. Although I must say, Fiji have quite impressed me at times. I mean, I think they very nearly led at half time against New Zealand yesterday. They actually they impressed a little bit as well. But who's your thoughts on for the outright?
Yeah, so that's interesting. You've pointed out the New Zealand game. I think that the problem here is that Fiji have just been playing normal rugby, and the other teams haven't been playing great. And I think the Russians are going to improve their game today. It just tells you that New Zealand aren't as good as they were last week. I don't think Fiji are any better than what they were. I wouldn't be taking 9-10 about a women's team to win a tournament. They've got 3 games to go. For me, the value would probably lie with the Australians and possibly the Canadians. New Zealand can win the tournament, but I don't know. They were poor against Fiji.
Right, let's go on to the next game then. Canada up against the USA. And here we got Canada plus 2.5, 14-10 for the win if you want to back them outright.
Yeah, the USA haven't been as good as they were as well. So this is a team that's playing under par. The Canadians, after that final last week, they had a couple of decent games over the last 2 days. I think the value lies with Canada. Again, you look at the results of these two. This is a proper derby. These girls probably know each other. They probably play club rugby together. I don't know too much about it, but the value to me is Canada, and I'm backing Canada to win the game.
Canada on the board there at 14-10. Right, let's move into the final game. It's New Zealand up against England. And yeah, I know England did let you down in the first round of matches when they played against Australia, where they didn't really perform as you'd hoped. But minus 20.5 New Zealand, that's quite a big handicap.
It's not enough. I think they can win by 30, 40, 35. I think they'll smash them.
You reckon they'll demolish English? Right, okay, so that's Gavin's picks. So let's just sum up then, Gavin. You've got Russia plus, Aussie minus, Canada on the board, for the more conservative, the plus 2.5, and New Zealand on the minus. Let's go into the men's games. We're hoping Rugger Bugger will join us. He did indicate he's running around this morning, but he should be in. We're hoping even if he pops in at the end to get his picks. But let's start with the men's outright betting. Gavin, just pulling up WSB site here. South Africa, the Blitzbox, came from 14-0 down yesterday against Fiji to beat them. They're 8-10. You've got Fiji moved to 3-1. New Zealand, a slight drift from 28-10 out to 3-1. And you can get 20-1 and better the balance. Any thoughts on the outright at this point?
Yeah, South Africa going too short for me. I say too short. They were even money before the tournament. I suggested I wouldn't touch them at that price. And as you said, there is no change here. I just don't see Fiji winning this tournament. I think it'll be a South Africa-New Zealand final. In fact, you'll see when you call up the Fiji Ireland game, I'm going to suggest that Ireland could possibly even win that game. So I wasn't impressed with Fiji. They did score early against us. That game against USA made them look fantastic. They're 14-7 up. They're down to 5 men. USA stuffed up a pass and didn't score and ended up losing. And I think that had they scored that try, I think the USA might have even beaten them in that game. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with Fiji. They 14-0 up against us and they didn't hold on. They made a lot of stupid mistakes. I don't think they're ready this week to win a tournament. New Zealand obviously can win it. From the other teams, France were 50-1 before the tournament. I know the conductor had a go at that. I'd obviously backed Australia. I was very surprised they went out. Argentina, I think, are going to beat France, so possibly a little bit of value there. But again, I don't think anyone's going to beat South Africa this weekend. I think they'll win it, but the price is probably a little bit short right now. That's all.
Right, yeah. I wrote my Citizen article last week. I liked a bit of Kenya 300-1, and I see they're into 8. But at the end of the day, that doesn't give you any room to trade. And of course, they do play the Blitzbox in the quarterfinals. Although I've got to say, I've been impressed with Kenya, and I'm interested to see now. Let's move on to the matches themselves, Gavin. Interested to see your views on it, because I think first up, if I'm not mistaken, we do have the South Africa against Kenya, and here we've got the box minus 6, or the Blitz box minus 16.5.
Yeah, I think 16.5 is definitely a plus play for me on the Kenyans. I think they'll come close here. When I say close, 8 to 10 points. I don't think they're going to be smashed by 20. Can they win the game? Of course they can win the game. I just don't think they will. I think South Africa too strong this weekend. But I just don't see them putting Kenya away. Another interesting thing here, South Africa got a lot of their conversions, which is unlike them. They're a 5.2 sort of points per try sort of team. And so a couple of decent kicks over the weekend now have got them the results that they did. They didn't put the USA away last night. I really thought they'd win comfortably. So this Kenya plus has definitely got my attention. I don't think they'll win the game, but I think it'll be close.
Right, so let's move on to the next game then, and we've got is it France against Argentina? France 7-10 for the win and minus 2.5 on the handicap. And you've already hinted in the outright preview that you think this could be a bit of a turnaround for the books here.
Yeah, I think the betting's right. I just think Argentina are just, when they play France, they play a bit better. They're having a good tournament as well. I liked Argentina. I liked them against New Zealand last night. In fact, I thought they'd win the game. They had a very good game against New Zealand. The French, we know the saying, you don't know what French team's going to show up. Of course, the French can beat the Argentinians here, but I think this price is probably, I think it's the bookmakers have priced up France as favourite because they looked a little bit better this weekend. But if they were super confident, they'd go -8 or -10. I think this game will be close, and I think Argentina will win it. I'm not a French punter here, so if you're worried about this one, my suggestion would be either take no bet or take Argentina. There's a bit of value there.
I'm with you there, and I think the betting's right, and I think this is going to be a close game. In fact, I'm sort of leaning towards. I haven't been getting too involved in points, and I know the overs arrived a lot on the first day. I think a few more unders came in yesterday. But 37.5 is the points line here, and I fancy this could be a game where the teams sort of match each other, and I think we could get a tighter effort than some of the other games we've seen. I also think the teams have to play, potentially, if you want to win this tournament, 3 games today. So I think saving your resources is going to be a little bit more. So you may get a situation, points difference no longer counts and stuff like that. We might get a situation in some of these games today where teams get out in front and then they actually step off the gas a bit and play for a bit of time.
Yeah, so Brent, this is interesting what you've just brought up now. You're 100% right. This is just board stuff for them. They're not interested in minuses. Teams don't need to win by 10 or 12. They obviously can if they presented with opportunity and looks a bit easy. But the reality is they just want to win the game. And if they lose the game here, that is their final game for the day. So the losers of these matches do not come back and play. The only time that we're going to see that is a third game would be a third and fourth playoff. But the teams that lose in that's right. So teams will either play 3 games or 1 game.
And that's a change to the format. Yeah, and that's a change to the format from past years. I saw it at Dubai last week as well. Normally you used to have playoffs down to the very last position, and I must say I personally am quite disappointed in it.
Yeah, I can see what they've tried to do here. They've tried to include the women's matches, which I understand. But Sean and I spoke yesterday actually, and we suggested that maybe what they should have done is played the first round of women's games on day one, so on Friday. And then you include maybe 4 women's games on Saturday, maybe the semi-finals, and then play all the 9th place, 11th place, 5th place, and 7th place. Play all those on Sunday, but leave the men to Saturday and Sunday. I think that would have been better. It used to be 24 games on the day one and 21 on day 2. So although we're getting 20 games today, including the women's games, we're not getting 20 men's games. I think we're only getting 12. So what they could have done is stuck to the 21 games that they had, and if they wanted to, bomb a game out, they could have taken the 3rd and 4th place game out if they wanted to. I don't know. But if you extend the last day today, if you started at 9 o'clock in the morning and you ended at 8:30 at night, by adding another 4 or 5 games in, wouldn't have made a difference. What I've noticed is the stadium is only filling up in the afternoon anyway. People aren't even showing up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I expect myself and my kid and my wife and my mate to arrive at the stadium and probably be one of only about 5,000 people. I think the 50,000 odd people only come in the afternoon. So yes, I am disappointed, and I think they've upset a lot of people. The organisers have upset a lot of people that like to come here for 2 days and thrash it out and see 45 games. Yeah, they've spread them out a bit too much, and they've put the women's games in there for us and wants to see them.
Yeah, I must say personally, I quite enjoy the women's game, and I was just complimenting them, in fact, to someone yesterday. And then there was a series of play between Fiji and New Zealand where I think there were something like 7 knock-ons in a minute or something ridiculous, and it was like I spoke too soon. But yeah, I take your point exactly. I think we're all in agreement. We would like to see more games, and as you say, teams not necessarily going home after the quarterfinals. Let's move on to the 3rd quarterfinal, Gavin, and it's Ireland against Fiji. Yeah.
What they used to do actually in Dubai and these other tournaments had the women's games. They used to play the big games in the stadium. The rest of them used to play in like a B stadium or a B field next door. And that's what's changed here. So I've taken all these women's games and put them in the main stadium so they get the crowd as well. Putting South Africa into this tournament was an interesting one. Like I said, I don't expect South Africa to win a game, and I didn't expect them to score a point, and they did score a few points yesterday. But they're giving us games that the crowd's there, and these games wouldn't have otherwise have had a crowd, and people wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't presented to them because they were already there.
Yeah, and I suppose that's fair enough at the end of the day. That's probably, that's obviously why they're doing it. If you can expose someone to it and they enjoy it, then you'll grow the game, And I guess something that can backfire, people don't enjoy it. Personally, even I was watching our South African team, and yes, quite right, I don't think we'll win a game, but we're actually a little bit better than I expected, a little bit of potential there for the future. But let's get on to Ireland up against Fiji, and here we've got the Fijians who are my pick for the tournament still at 3-1 at -15.5.
Yeah, Brent, again, this handicap's too much for me. Fiji haven't given me the confidence that they can win this game by 3 tries. Of course they can, but I just don't think so. I think Ireland are, they've won their group for the first time ever, and their group wasn't completely rubbish. I think they played absolutely fantastically, and I'm expecting another good showing this morning. If any of those teams went out drinking last night, I believe the Irish were the ones that didn't, and I think that they this is a massive match for them. They're going to go all out for it, and I think they can win this game. So I'm definitely on the plus here, and I'm of the opinion that Ireland can actually win the game.
I enjoyed that comment. If all the teams if the teams went out drinking, probably the Irish that wouldn't. I would say that goes very much against the Irish culture. But anyway, let's go. So you like Ireland even potentially on the board there. I must say, handicap-wise, not a strong view on that one, but I do fancy Fiji still at 3-1. I think there could be still something in there for them to win the tournament. Let's go on to the last game then, and it's New Zealand up against Scotland. And here we got New Zealand firm favourites -16.5 points.
Yeah, this is a tight one. This is probably my least confident call out of all of them. I'm going for the Scottish plus here. I did okay with them in the last couple of days. I think also they're quite buoyed. That was a very weak English team. They lost a couple of players, and they obviously beat them. I just think there's a little bit of momentum and about the Scots, and I think New Zealand, they know they're going to win the game. I don't think Scotland will win this game. I don't think they'll come close to winning it again. It'll be 10, maybe 12 or 14. I think this handicap will just sneak in the plus. I'd be very scared to go minus here because the Scots will score a couple of tries. So for them to beat that, they're going to need to score 30-something. I just don't think they're going to score 5 tries against the Scottish team. That's all. For me, it's like 4 tries to 2, maybe 3-1. I don't know, something like that. I can't see. So, to go back to your points comment earlier, if you're on points here, I think the unders, if it's going to be priced up at around the 38, 37, 38 level, I've got to say unders is probably the right way to go in this game. For me, Scottish plus, but I'm not confident. I just think it'll sneak in.
Well, interestingly, just popping onto World Sports Betting, 39.5. So it's quite a high points there, and I would agree with you there. I think unders could be the way to play today, and that's probably what I'll be forming my strategy around. Unfortunately, it doesn't look, Gavin, like Sean has been able to join us, but we've got your picks. So summarize for us. What are your big fancies for the day? What are your main bets?
Today, my best bets of the day, excuse me, are the Irish plus against Fiji, and I'd say the second play would be the Kenya plus against South Africa, and then Argentina, and then the Scottish plus. With regards to the women's games, seriously, maximum 1 unit here. I haven't even hit 1 unit on any of those games. I'm going to be watching them. It's a bit of fun. I haven't taken it that seriously yet, but I'm trying to do my homework. I did okay yesterday with the first 6. I called 4 out of 6. The day before, I called 3 out of 6. I'm getting a feel of how they're pricing it up and where the value is. I'm only slightly in front with the women's games, but I have not spent a lot of money on it. Honestly, it's been small change, and it's just about trying to work it out and get it right. So, the next few tournaments going forward, I'll be a bit more sharper with it. I'll do a little bit more homework. But yeah, if you're going in women here, keep it low. Really, don't get involved. There's nothing worse than looking at your betting account at the end of the day and going, where did I lose my money? Oh my gosh, I lost it on the French woman, or I lost it on the Fijian woman, or whatever. You don't want to even have that conversation with yourself later. Just don't get involved too much. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. No, thanks, Gavin. Just to give you my picks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a trend. It'll probably work out just around about 5 to 1, 11 to 2. Kenya plus, I like them as well. I'm going under 37.5 points in France v Argentina, and then all on to under 39.5 points in New Zealand v Scotland game. So that's my treble for this round. Looking forward to the action. I'm also running around a bit today. We've got some people coming around later, so not so sure how much of it I'll watch, but certainly had a good weekend so far. I must say my betting accounts are fairly empty at the start of this weekend, and I wouldn't say we're fine, but it's been pretty good. And following the likes of yourself, who I must say was on form yesterday, I think you took 8 out of 8 handicaps in the men's game. And Sean, of course, who did it the day before. Yeah, certainly it's been good. And just a reminder to people, you can go on to goodforthegame.co, click on GFTG forum, and go and have a look at the rugby thread. There will be tips coming up through there throughout the day. I pity Sean couldn't join us. I'm sure he'll stick his tips up on the Good for the Game forum, though. And Gavin, you close it out?
Yeah, so Sean got into a bit of banter with me earlier saying that he really liked the French. So there's an interesting game. He's completely the opposite to me. I'm saying go for Argentina. It's not my best bet of the day. I just think the value's there. Excuse me. And he's quite bullish on the French. I think he thinks they're going to smash them. So yeah, he's a little, I'm not going to say a little, but he's a lot more in form with the sevens than I am. I haven't been as good as I have been in the past over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, if there's going to be an upset to my picks, it's probably the French. I'm not going to go for them, but you can if you want. But again, as you said, probably put them on the forum.
Excellent. Guys, thanks very much to the guys who watched in the live chat. There wasn't that much comments today, but I did see quite a few live viewers there. Gavin, thanks very much to you. If you are new to our videos, please do subscribe and like and share this video. It helps our rankings a lot. Gavin, have a great day at the Sevens, and we'll chat to you later.
Cheers.